Hi guys, welcome all my horror fans to Hermione's Horror Reviews. I do content twice a week, every Tuesday and Saturday, unless it's like today, where it's raining. Wow. Thank you, Florida. We love you so much. There's sarcasm in that tone. Alright, so I read the first two stories from the wrap, and I'll give you the titles, and then I will tell you essentially what they're about and what I personally thought about them. So, the first one I will tell you right off the bat is called The Black Pages. And it is written by a Bram Stoker award-winning author. I don't... So it's by Cynthia Pelayo. Yeah. So Black Pages is about a woman who has lost her mother, and she has the grueling and horrible task of either throwing away what her mother owned, and I've been through that myself. I have had to make that decision because when me and my brother's mother passed away 4 years ago. But you have this huge collection of vintage horror paperbacks that her mother spent a lot of money on. But she's looking for a particular book. And the thing about this book is all the pages are black. And it is so scary that it has been linked to people actually dying. Well, when her mother passes away and she gets a buyer for all the vintage horror paperbacks, she finally goes into her mother's room, and she finally, she's just tossing stuff away, and then she finds a book, and all the pages are black. And this is the book that her mother had been looking for. So she doesn't know if the book is responsible for her mother's death, but it's going to go with the buyer because she doesn't want it around. Alright. So the story kind of reminds me, not reminds me, but kind of tells the reader that as much as we love someone, most of the time we don't love their possessions, and especially if it's something that we truly did not like when we were growing up, that can make us throw away things that meant a lot to the person who had it. Alright, the next one is Other Things Have Happened. By Ronald Moffat. Okay. So, this is about a man, when he was a little boy, he used to go to this movie theater and watch the old horror movies. And it was his escape from his home life. And that's a great thing about horror movies. They provide like ultimate escape. Well, as the years pass on, the movie theater is finally shut down, and of course, one day he decides to break in, and he wants to just basically revisit where he had spent most of his childhood. His marriage is to a woman called Brianna, and she is an actual monster. She's a giant spider in human form, and she feeds on him. And he brings stray cats in, hoping that she will feed on them, but she doesn't. And, yeah. So, while he is watching one of his movies, he brings his power supply and all that stuff in there, he meets a woman called Libby, who, sure enough, is a spider herself. And, at the end of it, he finally manages to escape his wife. So yeah, so those are the first two stories from the rack. I found them to be very entertaining. The first one was a little sad, but I'm hoping and praying that one day when it's my time to go and my adopted children are looking through my things, that they will realize that it's a good idea to keep some things. So I'll see you guys in a little bit because I do have another review coming up.